welcome to your reading. So let's talk about your soul family. So we may pick up on energy of people that are already in your life, if you already have some soul family members around you, or we could be talking about people that you haven't met yet, so just take what resonates. So we have the Four of Wands, we have Justice, we have the Knight of Cups, the Knight of Swords, and the High Priestess. Okay, so as of right now, we're talking about 3 individuals here, okay? And with the Justice here, there's definitely some karmic sort of connections here, but not in a bad way. I feel like especially here with this Knight of Cups and this Knight of Swords, these are 2 people who are going to come in and they're going to mirror certain qualities about yourself to show you sort of, you know how sometimes it's easier to recognize strengths in other people or positive attributes in other people, whereas we can be really hard on ourselves, right? So you see this a lot, I think, with like best friends where, you know, sorry, there's like a car screeching like everywhere outside. I hope you guys can't hear that. But anyway, so it reminds me of the dynamic with best friends where we can be like, oh, but no, you're so much prettier than I am. You're so much smarter than I am. Like, it's so much easier, I think, sometimes to like hype your best friend up. But then again, we can be hard on ourselves. And so I feel like, especially with this Knight of Cups and this Knight of Swords, I feel like these are going to be close friendships where you see a lot of yourself in them, and then like growing to know them and growing to love them as friends, you start to appreciate those aspects within yourself as well. And I feel like that's a mutual thing. I feel like you're both going to help each other with that process. And I should mention too, with this Knight of Cups, we could be talking about a Scorpio, a Pisces, or a Cancer. And with this Knight of Swords, we could be talking about a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra person. I will also say with these being knights, you may meet this, or I would say you would probably meet these people at least by middle age. Okay, like I feel like you would meet them at least by your mid-30s. If you're an older person watching this, I could be talking about people that you've known in the past, or you can just disregard that message, okay? Now, with this Four of Wands, I think, honestly, I feel like most of them, at least the High Priestess, maybe not the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Swords individuals, but at least this High Priestess is going to be there to stay. And this High Priestess is going to be someone who is spiritual, someone who's in like a mystic kind of energy, a very highly intuitive person. I'm picking up a Pisces vibe from her. She may be someone who tells you about her dreams a lot. I could see her telling you about this like wild, crazy dream that she had, and then maybe a couple weeks later, like a piece of that dream actually comes true, and you're like, wow, like she predicted this. I'm getting like a really psychic sort of energy from her. And this may actually be, given the fact that you're watching a tarot reading, it could be that like you find a tarot reader that you really connect with, or someone who reads like birth charts, or maybe someone who does like Reiki, or like a yoga teacher, someone who does something spiritual that you really, really connect with. And even if you never meet them in person, even if you just like get personal readings from them online or something like that, you still have that soul family connection with them. They are meant to give you that guidance or give you that spiritual support that you need. And so, yeah, I could see that maybe being someone in your life that, you know, maybe you just have an online connection or a long distance connection with them, or maybe you have a dynamic where they're like an advisor to you. So these knights feel like close friends or maybe co-workers, but this High Priestess feels like a little bit more of a heavier influence in your life. Like they are meant to help guide you, help, whereas like you have like fun with these people, right? But with this high priestess here, it feels more of like giving you spiritual support or directions from the divine, almost like this high priestess is like a translator or a channel even for you to get divine messages, or even to make sense of the signs and synchronicities that you're seeing that you can't quite work out, okay? With this Four of Wands, you could end up marrying, so we could be picking up on like your future spouse. In this reading, I'm not being shown who they are though, so I would bet they would either be this Knight of Cups or this Knight of Swords, and so maybe it starts off as a friendship and you know they grow to a more significant energy in your life, like a King of Swords or a Queen of Swords, or you know, maybe you've known them for a while and you grow together, and that Knight of Cups ends up becoming, you know, like an Empress energy, or that Knight of Swords becomes an Emperor, something like that, you know, where they grow into like that major arcana kind of energy in their self-development. I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. But you do have at least 3 soul family members out there that we're picking up on right away. You know what? I'm hearing, it's an old Tegan and Sarah song. I haven't heard it since like high school. I think it's the song 19 where she's like, I felt you in my legs before I even met you, and I don't even know you. But like she's already falling in love. There's something kind of almost like heartsick about this. Like I feel like you miss these people before you even know them. Like there's something in your soul where you're just missing these people. Your soul is missing their soul. So there's definitely like past life history here. Like, and you're gonna feel that sense of like deja vu. Like, I feel like I've known you before. Like, why do I feel so connected to you so soon? And especially I'm feeling with this Knight of Cups person, you're gonna open up to them really fast on a deeper level, and some of you may tend to be really private and really guarded, and so that may be very shocking and surprising to you. Or with this Knight of Swords, like maybe you tend to be introverted or more reserved, but then when you're talking to them, you become like super chatty and animated, and that's not really like you to be like that when you don't know someone that well. So those could be indicators that like, yes, these are your soul family members if you feel like you haven't met them yet. Okay. I do feel like you're going to have a lot to celebrate with these people, and these people are going to be genuinely happy for you when you have good things going. There's no sense of like jealousy here, and there's a lot of mutual support, and there's I feel like a really big energy here of reciprocity and just really being there for the other person. And even if you were resonating with that message of like really connecting maybe with a tarot reader or someone who does birth chart readings or something like that online, there's still an energetic exchange there, right? Like you may be paying for that reading, but that person is giving you their sort of knowledge, right? Or they are using their skills or their abilities to help you. They're giving you their energy and time. So it's still an equal exchange. Okay. Let's see what else we have. We have Liberator. We have Messiah. So that's reminding me of that High Priestess card. Oh, we have Mystic. Okay. I believe I said that with the High Priestess card. There we go. We have Martyr. And we have Advocate. So with Justice and Advocate, these soul family members, I feel like, are really going to share your ideals and values, and they may help you even grow and expand. So maybe you're someone who really, really cares about animal rights, but maybe you don't know the best way to explore that or the best way to like support that. And like these people can help guide you on that path and like show you these are like the charitable organizations that advocate and help animals that you can actually trust, right? Because there's a lot of sketchy charities out there. So stuff like that is just an example, but they can help you in that way. They can also help you find a way to advocate for yourself more if that's something you struggle with, or if you tend to be like a people pleaser or you try to avoid conflict that makes you uncomfortable. I feel like these soul family members, I'm hearing especially that Knight of Swords is going to help you with that. Messiah and Mystic is really making me think of that High Priestess, like I said before. So one of these people, that High Priestess, is going to be a big influence in you, helping you through like a spiritual expansion or even awakening, and just helping you, I feel like, grow in your spiritual practice, grow closer to the divine, and expand your knowledge base. Like maybe they introduce you to the concept of like star seeds or Akashic records, something like that, and you really end up resonating with that, even though maybe before you were really skeptical. I know, like, when I first discovered tarot on YouTube, I fell in love with astrology first. And even astrology, I was, like, super skeptical about astrology. And then I fell in love with it, and then I discovered tarot, and then super skeptical. I was like, what is this? And now, obviously, it's, like, a huge, huge part of my life. So it could be that you go through a similar process as a result of knowing one of these soul family members, or you connect with them online. Like maybe a tarot reading never really resonated, or you never had I don't know, tarot and birth charts are coming up so strongly, but it could be multiple things, but maybe you just never got into it until you had a reading, or they explained like moon sign placements, and then it just clicked and you're like, man, no one ever explained it like that before, and it clicks and it opens up an entire new realm for you to sort of explore. With this Liberator, I do feel like that's that Knight of Swords coming through again. That person is really going to help you find your voice, feel free to speak your truth, and is going to help you grow in your confidence about just being more honest about how you feel and not biting your tongue and not trying to, worry so much about how other people are going to receive what you're saying, and more about just you speaking your truth and you feeling free and not feeling so restricted and not having to tiptoe so much, and just being able to express how you feel and know that your feelings are valid. Okay, and then with this Martyr card here, I feel like with this Knight of Cups, they're going to help you find a way to, because I feel like for some of you, there's just this feeling of people taking advantage of you, and if that Knight of Cups person didn't come in and they didn't help you, if that soul family member wasn't there to help guide you through that process of like healing, you could develop, I'm not saying you have this, I'm just saying you could develop a sort of victim mentality where you feel like you're always going to attract people who hurt you, deceive you, or true love doesn't exist, or there's no honest people in this world, and you could get really down about just humanity, I feel like, in general, or relationships in general. And I feel like that Knight of Cups really comes in to help you heal your heart, help you let go of past hurt and resentment and grief and loss and disappointment, and helps you alchemize and transform that so that you can feel free, so that you can feel liberated from the past here. And you can learn how to, I'm hearing, set and hold healthy boundaries. And I feel like that's going to be a skill that they help you develop over time. So you don't end up being like really jaded or really bitter. Okay. So I'll let you look at the images on these cards for a second in case there's some kind of specific imagery that's calling out to you, or if you want to pause the reading you can, but I'm going to go ahead and flip over the cards now to see what we have. So we have the teacher, affirmation, I study and share wisdom with those who will value it. I feel like that's the high priestess. That's your high priestess, soul family member coming through, that spiritual teacher or guru, professional astrologer, yoga teacher, like whatever it is, some sort of spiritual person that you really look up to and that is really inspiring to you. We have the joyful. Affirmation, I know that the purpose of life is to be happy and to live purposefully. That's the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups person is going to help you realign with your joy and your happiness. I feel like that person might come in after you have a breakup, or maybe at a time when you're having struggles with a certain friendship, or you're in a difficult work environment because of your colleagues, or maybe you're someone who has a difficult relationship with a parent or certain family members, and they come in to help you sort of mend your heart. I'm hearing they like stitch you back together. They're really supportive of you. And we have the leaders. I know how to lead because I know what needs to be done. Okay, I wasn't planning on these cards to line up this way, but it's cool that they do. I feel like the leader's card is partially the high priestess, but I'm hearing the Knight of Swords because we were talking about them helping you find your voice. And it's funny because I think for a lot of you, you have this capacity for leadership, but you don't see that aspect of yourself, whereas they see that potential in you right away. So going back to that message we got in the beginning about how sometimes it's easier to see those strengths in others than it is to see it in ourselves. And so they're going to help you and sort of provide that energy of liberation, help you find your voice, help you learn how to speak up. Because for some of you, like, you are meant to be an advocate for maybe some sort of like social justice issue here, because there's an energy here of you giving a voice to those who don't have it, which may be why I was picking up on animals in the beginning. Maybe you guys are like vegans, or you're big animal lovers or something like that. You don't have to be. That's a more specific message, I know, but it did come up, so it must be resonating for at least one of you. Yeah, giving a voice to those who can't speak for themselves, so maybe like animals. Okay. So these are just going to be some final messages. And it's funny, we still got 3 messages here, but these are going to be, if your soul family members could speak to you now, what would they say? So we have present. Journey into the garden and escape the 2 eternities, the past and the future. Don't lose your present joy by living in the past or living in the future. I don't remember who said this, but I think there was a poet or a philosopher who said that if you live in the past, you're going to be depressed, and you live in the future, you're going to be anxious. Joy, happiness, contentment is to be found in the present moment. That's not the exact quote, obviously, but that was the gist of it. So connecting to the present moment is the way to feel that sense of contentment. Oh, you got joy. Make time for the little things today. Yeah, I mean, be present. That's how you find your joy. And we have grow. All flowers must grow through dirt. I feel like this is echoing that martyr card. You know, everyone has their cross to bear. Everyone has something. Some people have harder paths than others. That is true. Some people have a lot of privileges, but everyone experiences some kind of hardship to some degree. And so don't feel, don't feel singled out. Don't feel singled out. And be proud of yourself for getting this far and for, just continuing to try. Like, that's all you can do is continue to try your best. Okay, so Group 1, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope you found it helpful, and I hope it was comforting to you. Please take care, and I'm wishing you the very best. Welcome to your reading. So looking at your tarot cards, some of you may like this and others of you may be disappointed, but I do have to read what I see, and just based upon your tarot here, Group 1 had like 3 soul family members who came through. For you all, it feels like we're talking about your soul family member is going to be a romantic partner, and it's just them coming through as of right now. We may get more soul family members to come through, but as of right now, I'm just seeing a romantic partner. This person with the 10 of Cups may end up being your future spouse, but that's what I'm seeing so far. In terms of what this person is like, who they are, with the 5 of Wands, this is someone who will fight for you. This is someone who is going to be fiercely protective and loyal towards you. This is someone where fidelity is not an issue. They have no problems being faithful to you. With the 8 of Wands, they're going to bring a lot of blessings and a lot of positive changes into your life. They're a good influence on you. They help you to grow. They help you to evolve. They don't drag you down, which is really nice. And they bring a lot of stability. And part of that with the 3 of Pentacles is they're either a really great financial provider, or they are starting a business with you, or they are helping to support you to grow a business or to explore a certain career path. So just take what resonates, but there is something about this that is influencing your financial situation for the better. With the Ace of Swords, this is someone who is honest, straight to the point. They don't mince their words. With the Sun, they could be a Leo. I do also feel Aries and Sagittarius energy from this as well, though. They do try to see the bright side of things. They do tend to be optimistic, but they're also a realist. So they're not like a hopeless romantic. They are still grounded, but they more have this energy of like, okay, that didn't work out. Let's figure out a different way of doing it. We're not going to give up. Just because it didn't work out this way doesn't mean it won't work out another way. So this person doesn't settle for failure. They just see failure as a lesson learned and they keep it moving, right? Like they don't get bogged down in disappointment, or they're not the type of person to wallow in self-pity. Like if something doesn't work out, they're like, okay, let's figure it out. You know, like if there is a disappointment about something, they just kind of dust themselves off, get back up and try again. They don't lose a lot of time in their feelings. They might have a tendency to repress negative emotions just because they prefer action. And so they feel better doing something. This may be a really dark example, but maybe it's because I've been working in hospice, but it's coming to mind. When someone loses a family member, sometimes you will see one person will busy themselves with like funeral arrangements and the legality and like taxes and like working through or sifting through the person's like possessions and like dealing with all of that stuff rather than just sitting down, processing and crying or doing some kind of like emotional release. Like they just keep themselves really, really busy. That's kind of the energy here of this person. Like they just like to get stuff done and they like to feel productive. They like to feel useful and they don't like to sit down and have a nice cry. Like that's just not how they are. Not to say that they fall into toxic positivity, because they are very much like a realist, even though they're an optimist. So they're not an idealist, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like they have that balance of like seeing the silver lining, but also being realistic about how things are gonna go. They're definitely a planner. They like to know what their next steps are. They're quite ambitious. This is someone who is funnily enough, like even though they don't like to explore their own emotions a lot, they are going to be really emotionally supportive of you. I feel like this person will really prioritize that, and I feel like when you're upset, they can make you laugh no matter what. Like there's just something about them where they can always make you smile. They can always make you chuckle. You know, you could be crying your eyes out and they just say something and you burst out laughing. Like you can't help it with this person. I'm trying to see if there are any other messages that are coming through with this. I do feel like this person... They do romanticize you a bit, and I think that might be something that you guys end up working through in this connection, because the sun kind of rises and sets with you. Like, you know, they kind of look at you sometimes like you can do no wrong, or like you're so angelic, and I think that, you know, that may make you feel a little bit restricted at times. Like, yes, it's flattering, but sometimes that could feel maybe a little bit restrictive. So that might be something you have to work through. I don't think it's going to be a huge problem or anything, but they love you so much. They just love you so much. You're just their favorite, you know, and so it's like you can do no wrong in their eyes, you know, like they stan you, you know, they are your biggest fan, your biggest supporter. Okay. All right. Let's see what else we have to come through. We have warrior. I feel like that's still them. Like this idea that they will fight for you, that they will protect you, that they will be loyal to you. Rescuer. Yeah, very protective of you. So protective. We've got Midas and we have lover. Okay, so yeah, this all feels like their energy still. I'm still not picking up a second individual here. It still feels like that. Either maybe for some of you this is a current romantic partner or your future romantic partner, but yeah. I will say there is an aspect of this with this rescuer card. They know that you're strong. They know that you don't need to be taken care of, but I feel like this person likes to feel useful. They like to feel busy. They like to feel productive. And I feel like acts of service and gift giving are probably two of their biggest love languages here. A little bit of words of affirmation too. a little bit of that. But they like to just feel useful. And so I think maybe if you're like a fiercely independent person, you might have to say to them, hey, like I can do that for myself. Others of you may like this about them. So it kind of just depends on, you know, like what your preferences are. But I think with that Ace of Swords, like they prefer direct communication. So, you know, if you don't like them taking care of you in certain ways, just say that, you know, and they'll respect it. With this Midas card here, like I said, they're definitely going to improve your financial situation one way or another. And with the Lover card, we were right. Like, this is a romantic connection. This is someone who's going to be deeply devoted to you. There is a lot of passion between you two. I feel like in terms of your physical intimacy, you're very compatible with this person, and you guys just really appreciate each other so much, and you really do see the best in each other. And I think that's why this is a soul family connection and not just your run-of-the-mill romantic connection, because there's something there about you two really supporting each other and helping each other to grow, and just that deep, deep devotion. Okay, I'm gonna let you look at the images on these cards, just in case there's like a specific image that's calling out to you. If you want to pause the reading, you can. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and flip over the cards. So we have the Benefactor. I enjoy life now as I take steps to realize my new tomorrow. I feel like this is you benefiting from the relationship and them benefiting too. I feel like this is saying both of you have something here to bring to the table. It's not one-sided. We have the Forgiver. I forgive myself and others with compassion for our human frailties? I might be pronouncing that wrong. You two resolve conflict with each other really easily, and I think this is picking up on that thing we were talking about before about them romanticizing you a bit, and that may be just feeling a bit restrictive for you. And I feel like that's a process as you go through this connection where they're going to start to realize you're human and you have your flaws just like anybody else. And instead of that breaking down the connection, it ends up being stronger, more authentic for it, and you end up better for it. And I feel like both of you have this capacity for forgiveness and compassion. And so no one here is holding a grudge or giving the other person the silent treatment. I feel like you guys just directly communicate when there's a conflict, and so that's why you're able to resolve it, because you're both just pretty straightforward about it. They may not be the best at putting their emotions into words, but they do try. They do try their best. And that could be something you end up helping them with. We have the Traumatized. I acknowledge that I have been traumatized, but also that I'm healing. That could be why your, I keep hearing future spouse, so maybe this is going to be the person that you marry. But I feel like that's why this person feels this need to be so protective over you, or feels the need to take care of you, because there's just this energy of like, you've been through too much. Like, you've been through too much, you deserve better. And like, they just want to almost like cocoon you in their love and keep you safe, and they don't want you to feel hurt anymore. And it just devastates them to hear about some of the stuff that you've been through. Okay, so these are going to be things that this person would say to you if they could speak to you right now. And again, I'm sorry we only got one person, and I know some of you maybe were hoping to get some non-romantic messages. So if you were drawn to another group, feel free to watch another group, but this is what I saw, okay? We have Relax, Delight, and Powdered Gold Sunshine. I mean, you got the sun card, so what a really nice synchronicity there. I told you, like, this person just wants you to take it easy. They're like, you've been through too much. Like, you deserve the best. You deserve a gentle, soft life now, and I want to give that to you. They don't want to add to your stress. We got beginnings. Don't be afraid to start small. I do feel like this person will represent a new beginning in your life, and this could be speaking to that idea of like you starting your own business or you starting a creative project, and then they're going to come along and help you expand upon that. That's a more specific message. This could just be talking about a personal goal as well, just anything that you're wanting to do. Don't be afraid to take a small step forward. All progress is still progress. We have twilight, surrender to the last hour when the light barely touches the flowers. Let go. Just let go. Even when things are tough and hard and dark and difficult and uncertain, just let go, because if you can't control it, if you have anxiety and fear and worry, you're just sort of punishing yourself even more. You're making the circumstance even harder. And there's no real benefit to it, right? All right, group 2. These were all your messages. I hope that you enjoyed this reading, and please take care. I'm wishing you the very best, and hopefully I see you in my next welcome to your soul family reading. So we have the 4 of Swords, we have the 2 of Swords, we have the Devil, the Star, the World, we have the 8 of Pentacles, and we have the Lovers here. So you have probably the largest soul family that we've seen today by far. I'm sensing 4 people here, and I will say some of these people may have already been in your life. You may recognize some of these energies. For others of you, these could all be future people. I am getting a sense, though, at least for some of you, you may be familiar with at least one of these individuals here. So with the Star card, we have Aquarius energy. With the Devil, we have some good old Capricorn. With the Lovers, we have Gemini energy. I may actually get some zodiac signs at the end of your reading. I didn't do that for the other groups, but given that we have such a large spread here, I might just go ahead and do that for you all. Okay, so for some of you, at least one of these soul family members is going to come into your life and going to help you make a pretty big life change. So there's some sort of decision that you will or have been struggling with, and they're going to come in just at the right time, okay? And they're going to say something to you that just puts it all into perspective. I'm hearing that the divine is going to use them as sort of like just a vessel to give you the advice that you need, the support that you need, and they're not going to tell you what to do, but there's going to be something that they say that just resonates with you, and you're like, oh, I never thought about it like that. I've used this example before, and I apologize if you've heard it already, but I was talking with my cousin's wife, and I had been struggling really, really badly. Like, I was in the worst place I had ever been in my entire life. It was horrible. And I was just like free falling, and I was just looking for an answer anywhere I could get it. You know, I was asking everyone advice. I was overthinking. I was so disconnected from my intuition, so disconnected from spirit. And I had a less than 5-minute conversation with her, and she just very bluntly was like, why are you still clinging to this idea of going to nursing school? Because I had originally tried to go to PA school, and I had put in so much like time and effort into it, gotten accepted in everything, and knew I was deeply unhappy, and like just my pride couldn't let it go. And so I was still trying to say like, well, if I go to nursing school, I could still apply some of those credits. It won't all be wasted time. But she's like, if you continue to go down that path when you know you're not going to be happy, you're just wasting even more time. Like, you need to let it go. You just need to let it go. And she told it to me so bluntly, and just the way that she phrased it, I was like, she's right. It's the sunken cost fallacy. Like, you know, like, we're afraid of losing time. We're afraid of our efforts being wasted. But when we continue to give to something that isn't meant for us, isn't right for us, doesn't sit well with our soul, we continue to waste even more time. And so it's something like that. It's something where you're just really struggling, and you've got yourself confused, you're overthinking, and they just say something that just puts it all into perspective and helps you get out of that funk. And with that Devil card, I do feel like for some of you, especially with the Eight of Pentacles here, maybe for you it's also career related like it was for me. And maybe that's why I was called to share that example. I hope you guys don't mind a personal example. I try not to do too many of those because I know they bother some people, but anyway, I feel like it might help some of you to give some context here. But for some of you, it could be related to your career or, you know, like your college major, something like that, with the Devil card, because that can talk about Capricorn energy, you know, how we make our money, how we get our status, the role that we play in society, all that good stuff. So yes, someone is going to help you. And you may not be struggling with this now. This could be a future energy. But know, if you're ever in that place of just feeling really confused and turned around about a major decision, there's going to be a soul family member who's going to help you through that. And I do think it's this Devil card person. I also feel like they're going to push you to be selfish in a good way, to choose yourself, to choose your happiness, and not care so much about what other people expect of you or what you think you should do. Because it's important for you to feel peace in your soul, because at the end of the day, you're the one who has to live with your decisions. Nobody else does. With the Star card, I do feel like there's going to be a soul family member that you end up wishing for, praying for, manifesting. And with the Lovers also being here, this could be a romantic partner. And so you could be calling in a soul family member who ends up being, you know, like a significant long-term partner, or even like your future spouse if marriage is something that you're interested in. With the World card, one of your soul family members could be from a different cultural background. They could be from another country. They could be from a different socioeconomic background, a different religious background, a different race or ethnicity, different sexual orientation even. So anything like that could make them just different from you, because I do think that there's an aspect here of a soul family member expanding your awareness, expanding your consciousness, and just bringing a different perspective, and that helps you grow, helps you get out of, sort of the comfort zone of what is familiar to you, and I think that's going to be helpful. And I'm hearing you're going to have a lot of adventures and a lot of fun. I feel like that's a soul family member who's going to come into your life and add, I'm hearing a bit of sparkle, a bit of glitter, like they're just going to bring a lot of fun into your life, and that's sort of their purpose, like just to help you have fun and to help you be just sort of get out of your shell, I guess is the best way of expressing it. With the Four of Swords, there's going to be a soul family member that just immediately feels like home. They just immediately like soothe your soul. They're just so comforting, so warm. I'm feeling this from the Lovers card, like this could be that romantic partner we were speaking of, but I also feel like that gives you the space and the freedom to really be yourself and even just explore your identity as well, I'm hearing. Okay, so I know that was a lot of messages, but let's continue onward. So we have King, we have Don Juan, we have Hermit, we have Engineer, and we have Vampire. Okay. So I'm not sensing any new energies from this. I do feel like this is still talking about the same soul family group that we were picking up on before. With this King and this Don Juan energy here, this could be that romantic partner. If you're interested in a divine masculine, this could definitely be talking about a soul family member that you're going to have a long-term romantic connection with. And I say that because the King energy is giving me this idea of like legacy, and so it may be that you end up having children, or you create something with that person that lives on beyond you. So maybe like a business, or starting like a charitable foundation, doing something in your community, like starting a community garden or something like that, or even just them supporting you to create something, because some of you are very artistic and helping you to create something. You know how they say, like, if you create a song or a poem or you paint something, whatever, like that work of art lives beyond you, right? And it takes on a whole new life even when you're still living, because other people are responding to it and having an emotional response to the song that you wrote or the painting that you created. And so the idea of like, the artwork itself, no matter what form of art it is, having a life outside of the creator who, was the one who brought it to life to begin with. I hope that makes sense, but yeah, I do feel like if you are an artist or a creative person, or even if you just create any kind of content, I guess, this person will be supportive of that and help you grow that, okay? It's going to be a deeply passionate affair with the Don Juan card. I mean, this is going to be someone where you really explore your sexuality with them. I will say here with the Hermit card, that's reminding me of that fun friend we were picking up, that fun soul family member who was going to get you out of your shell. I feel like this is you with that Hermit card kind of being in your safe zone, and they're going to pull you out of that. With the Vampire card, maybe some of you are like real home buddies. You don't get out much. You don't, even if you do get out, you aren't really that like open, like you kind of just go about your regular business and you don't really try anything new. You're not that spontaneous or adventurous, or you're not like a risk taker. I feel like they really get you out of that energy, and they encourage you to have fun and explore, and they get you to say yes more. I get you to say yes more. With this Engineer card, I do feel like that is picking up on the idea of you having to make a decision and someone just helping you sort it out in a way where you feel practical and you feel like, yeah, I can build upon that decision. Like, yeah, that's a decision that's going to further my growth and help me get where I'm meant to go. And sort of just this idea of like feeling empowered to construct the life that's going to best suit you. And there's a soul family member who's going to help you do that. Okay. So I'm going to let you look at the images on these cards just in case there's a message for you in there. So if you need to pause the reading to get a better look, feel free to do so. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and flip over the cards. So we have the loner. I enjoy being alone and getting in touch with my true feelings. Yeah. That's the Hermit card again. Like, some of you have just been used to being a lone wolf, and it's funny that like you guys have like the largest soul family out of all the readings today, because it's like you felt so isolated and alone, and yet here are all of these soul family members. Like, the lone wolf is now a part of the wolf pack, you know, like that's so cute. We have the partners. Oh my gosh, you got the lovers and the partners. I keep my word and put my partnership first in all ways. So yeah, one of these is definitely a long-term, if not lifelong, romantic partner. And they're definitely going to be someone who has your back, but I feel like still supports your independence as well. And it's going to be someone who really prioritizes you. I'm also sorry if the camera shakes. I am charging my phone and I just hit the cord a couple times. So if the camera shook, I'm so sorry. Okay, we also have the farmer. I enjoy being of service to those who deserve it. There's definitely, I feel like, a collective energy here from your soul family of just wanting to nurture you and wanting to support you. And I feel like you're going to give that same energy back to your soul family. But, you know, there's that fun friend, right? That I really feel like it's going to be a really close friendship for you. But they're going to help you grow in sort of like your self-expression and help you discover new aspects of your identity and help you get out of your shell. And then this romantic partner is going to nurture your creativity and help you explore your physical body, as weird as that sounds, but help you like explore your sexuality. And then we have this other person who's going to help you make this like big life decision and give you that like practical and honest, straightforward support that you need. And so there's obviously like different aspects of yourself and different areas of your life where your soul family is really going to come in and help you out. And then we have the future. I plan for the future with respect for the unexpected. Okay, for some of you, this is saying you haven't met these people yet. And that's why you feel so alone. And that's why you feel so isolated. But they are out there and you are going to meet them. For others of you, this is speaking to the idea that your soul family is going to be there with you. Like once they come into your life, most of them are going to stick around. They're not going to be there just for a season. They are going to stick around, or they are going to play an integral part in how your future unfolds. So even if they don't stay in your life for forever or for the rest of your days, they do have a lasting impact on your future. Okay? So these are going to be messages from your soul family. If they could speak to you now, what would they say? We have generosity, sow seeds of kindness. We have rest, slow down. You don't have to solve everything today. So that's echoing the Four of Swords that we got in the very beginning. So don't feel bad about resting and relaxing. And I'm hearing with this generosity card, yes, be giving to others, but also give to yourself. Give to yourself and don't feel bad about it and don't feel like that's selfish. And we have serenity. Yeah, just connect with your sense of peace. It says, value quiet days with only the rustling leaves breaking the silence. For some of you, like if you're feeling really lonely and it's been tough, I feel like this is your soul family saying, I'm sorry, we're not there yet, but enjoy your own energy. Soak it up. Soak up the peacefulness, because when we come in, we're going to shake it up. We're going to help you, and just enjoy the quiet time, because when we come in, obviously there's going to be some changes going on, right? Okay, so group 3, this was your reading. Oh, wait, I forgot. I said I was going to get zodiac signs for you guys. Let's get 4 zodiac signs just to see possible sun signs for these soul family members in case you're curious, okay? So group 3, what's our first sign? Okay, so we have Pisces to start. So we have water sign. We have Aquarius. We had Aquarius already with the star card, so definitely Aquarius. I wouldn't be surprised if that is maybe like the fun friend. Aquarius people could an Aquarian person could definitely get you out of your shell. Okay, now we have Libra. That could be a romantic partner, I'm hearing. And then we have Pisces again, so definitely Pisces energy, okay? All right, so please take care. I'm wishing you the very best, group 3, and I will hopefully see you in my next one.